What's up? This is Overtime. I'm Carson and this is Matt.
So today we're at the beautiful ridges at Sand Creek and we're going to be looking at Happy Gilmore, the golf movie. So Happy Gilmore is a golf movie that came out in 1996 starring Adam Sandler, and it covers the story of a young hockey player who is trying to raise enough money to save his grandma's house from being destroyed or sold at auction. And the way he's going to do this is through professional golf. And his unique kind of skill comes with the fact that he has a very powerful slap shot, and he's able to transfer that into golf and have a very long drive. And we're going to be looking at Happy Gilmore with the announce of Happy Gilmore 2 and with this recent conclusion of the Masters.
So Happy Gilmore is based on a true story after Kyle McDonough, who was a hockey player. Along with this, Chris McDonald was also Shooter McGavin, and they both got brought by the director to a PGA tournament to see what the atmosphere was like at the PGA Tour.
You want a piece of me? I don't want a piece of you. I want the whole thing.
So in this scene we see here, Bob Barker is actually fighting Happy Gilmore. And as kind of wild as this might seem, this is actually really realistic because Bob Barker has fighting experience and training from the Chuck Norris. And when the crew wanted to actually make Bob Barker have a stuntman, he said, "No, I know how to fight."
As we see in this clip, we see Adam Sandler actually go to retrieve his ball in a pond. This is kind of just an unwritten rule in golf to never retrieve your ball if it goes into a pond.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is this your ball?
Yes, it is.
It struck my foot.
Doug! Doug, can I get a drop?
Oh, the rule says play it as it lies.
So in this scene, we see that Shooter McGavin gets the ruling that he has to play it as it lies off the man's foot. And this is really unrealistic because in 2014, Rory McIlroy actually had a similar occurrence that his ball actually landed in somebody's pocket. Now, obviously, he can't hit it out of their pocket because that would hurt really bad and it wouldn't go out. But the ruling was that it would be dropped in the nearest point of the person that he would get complete relief, and that ended up being here, and then the person just stepped away. So in the case of Shooter McGavin, he would just get a drop and the person would move their foot. It would not be hitting it off of his foot.
Jackass. Whoa! The club went further than the ball.
As we can see in this clip, we see somebody yelling "jackass," and this is actually just really unrealistic in the film. This is ultimately because if you do yell any profanity or any words like this, you probably will get kicked out of any tournament.
Bet your neighbor, the accountant, doesn't have a shot to get on the pro tour.
How would I do that?
You win the Open tomorrow, you're automatically on the pro tour.
So as we can see here, we have Happy Gilmore getting into what is essentially the PGA or the pros with one qualifying tournament. Now, this is not how this works at all. In order to enter the PGA tournament, you have to go through many pre-qualifiers. You have to be ranked and go through like other additional tournaments before you're even qualified or like could enter the PGA tournament. So the idea that Happy Gilmore can enter it after doing one local tournament is just ridiculous.
The idea in the movie Happy Gilmore of hitting the long ball is actually really realistic because it's coming a newer tactic that people are using is they're hitting the long ball more than they're playing the short game to their advantage.
Despite this, Happy Gilmore's swing is actually not functional. The way that he runs up on the ball, it creates a very open swing path, and his face is very open that the ball would just immediately go to the right and create a huge slice. So this idea of him running up on the ball and hitting it would fail immediately, and it would actually not create any more momentum for him to hit the ball. So really, he's getting zero benefit out of this run, and having just a normal stance, standing, hitting the ball would be just as effective, if not more effective. So the overall negative takeaways that we can get from Happy Gilmore are that his swing is not realistic at all. The running up on the ball, hitting it, it just doesn't work. And the idea that he can purely play the long game and have very bad short game is unrealistic, along with the fact that it's just he's getting on the tour right away and he's making millions of dollars, which is also unrealistic.
So the overall positive takeaways is that the film really portrays golf itself as a whole in a good manner. It also really just shows how the long game is becoming the new thing, and it really shows that in the film, which I like. It also is really realistic because it ultimately, they had the actors go watch the PGA tournament and they saw all the rules and how to do it, and then they transferred that into the film to create Happy Gilmore.
So for a review of the realism, I'm sadly going to have to give it a 7 out of 10, simply because there are just a lot of parts of the movie that didn't align with real golf.
And I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. The reason I took those 2 points away was simply because he just kind of plays with a hockey stick, which is like forbidden on any golf course.
For an overall rating of the film, though, it's a 10 out of 10. It's a pure masterpiece. Everything about it is very funny, has a lot of drama, and it's just a great film.
I'd also give it a 10 out of 10. I really like the film. It's just really funny. It keeps you on your toes the whole time.
Thanks for watching Overtime. Make sure you watch our next episode coming out May 13th.
Also, be sure to subscribe to JHS Creative Communications. Now we're going to go hit some balls.